22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And off we go from Seattle.
Kenedawagu now out of his end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Now, 1 for 1, a lot more to go. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys with much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Now Cousins.
Middle of the field to Jefferson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
2nd and 5.
Throwing, Cousins.
And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5 now. Cousins. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
It's safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Cousins on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins. And he comes back with one complete.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
A first red zone opportunity the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They go play action. Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted.
Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And Walker once more.
And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
They'll run with Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
2nd down and goal. Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted.
Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1.
Forward. Hey, report.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Walker now on 1st and 10. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. This one goes underneath to Walker. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. From the gun, it's Walker. And some room to work. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him. It should open up things for you.
Here's 2nd and 10. They go play action with Jackson. He lets it fly for Lockett. Touchdown! Tyler Lockett, 47 yards. And the Seahawks post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And that makes the score 7-0. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you act.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, next-gen stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Lockett, the man in motion. Jackson looking to throw on third. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
So they'll get the yardage on the run and get 15 more for good measure.
Yeah, that wasn't too difficult to spot. You heard the sideline erupting, and the flags came out almost immediately.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Fans, a reminder, coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando for highlights and analysis and scores from around the NFL here in this opening weekend.
Let's put the coach to work.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And a loose football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Remember in preseason when we were camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The fumble on first down. Now here's 2nd down.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he will have a Vikings first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So they keep the ball, but work to do on second and long.
Cousins now. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a third and long. He'll look to throw. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw there into the hands of Ross.
It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Option play, and they'll give to Walker.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Out. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, the next-gen stats going to show the final clocking there. He was taken down in just 1.9 seconds. Yeah, that's pretty fast.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work, while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
The Vikings take over first down and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Forced out to his left.
That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Throwing is Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Boye Mafe in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
They've got a little over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks him backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. Looking for the end zone. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Okay, so roughing the passer, I've got to imagine that's the last thing you want to see week 1 as your quarterback taking an unnecessary hit.
I think you're exactly right about that. You hate it any week, but boy, are you on target. This is a unit that's depending on him to take him through 17 games, so you definitely can't let him get hurt right now.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. Evades him at the 10.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for first. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And the third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off Byron Jones.
So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the third quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A quick throw now complete to Ross. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. A gain there of 21 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's got a man, complete.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
He's been a one-man dynamo on this drive so far, and you know the other receivers would love to get involved. But right now, his skill and his play has his team in a great position to put 6 points on the board.
And he's got some space here. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker, 32 yards. And the Seahawks have retaken a third-quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Nwangu now from his end zone.
And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tanner Muse with it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. After the interception, here's Jackson.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Here's Walker. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Walker once more.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Seahawks are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay.
And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Seahawks will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
99 yards rushing for him now here in Week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They trail by 2 scores in the fourth, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
The Seahawks take over first down at the 47-yard line.
Give to Walker on the read option. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Seahawks are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Garibay on to attempt the point after.
And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the fourth.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And my goodness, another interception.
Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
On the counter, it's Walker. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 113 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Back to Walker on first down.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On third down, here's Walker.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Garabay's kick is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you didn't mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Play fake. Cousins. He's got a man. Complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, You may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
No gain on the play there, second down.
On second down, it's Cook again.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
And with the scoreboard against them here in the 4th quarter, this was definitely 4-down territory. Really nice job there finding a way to get open, and a really nice throw. That sets them up with 1st and goal.
Cousins gets this one out wide quickly. Touchdown, Vikings! A great effort there, with his first career touchdown in his first career game.
And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I have to admit, I love the excitement of a 2-point try. You know, to see what's going to happen, and it happens pretty quickly, doesn't it? You get an answer, and in this case, it's unsuccessful for the guys trying it.
Completely unrelated, I just realized that I stole both your pins in this last game. My bad, partner.
Hey, that's okay. Well, and just in the time they went for 2.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw.
Throw right side, taken in by Eskridge.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Jackson.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
A great play there, with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns.
And the Seahawks tack on another score as they have dominated this 4th quarter.
Extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for Pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And now here is another interception.
Tariq Woolen picks it. Trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
On 3rd down, Jackson going deep downfield for Ross. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for week 1.